Alright, I'm guessing this will be my last response to Rabid Monkey. I'm not sure. We keep it going back and forth, and when he says he's done, he's not going to come back anymore, he comes back again for some more. So this is my last response that I've got. I don't really have anything more to say to him. And where he continues to, let's see. You are correct. It's useless and futile to continue a reasoned discussion about the subject when you cannot even read correctly what is on your very screen you are making a video about. Reasoned arguments are useless against those who do not covet reason themselves. So, first of all, I have a little tiny screen, little 5-inch screen, maybe not even 5 inches. I think this one's 4.5 inches. Typing is not good for me, and reading is not good for me on this particular screen. Now, if I had a bigger computer with a bigger screen, be a different story. I know that I confused and said Utah when I meant Idaho. Sorry about that. I know that you like to pick on these little idiosyncrasies to make your points valid, but that doesn't help your case at all. Me making a mistake, I mean, who doesn't make mistakes, first of all? Anyway, I wanted to read some of these things that I've replied to him, even though he said he's done multiple times, and then he keeps coming back. Like after he said that, then and the next day, see, 2 days ago he said that he's done, basically. Then the next day, he came back and was like, let's see. There are 3 fundamental rules of logic. 1, positive claims require positive evidence. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. What is presented without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. I said, it's not surprising that yesterday you said you were done, and today you are back. So here is the extraordinary claim that you have yet to prove, which is abiogenesis. And this has to do with Dr. James Tour, who is a renowned scientist, has over 100 patents, has over 500 peer-reviewed papers, does chemistry, and makes molecules from ab initio. This is the guy who would understand abiogenesis if anybody would. And he actually claims that what he is talking about is evolution when he's talking about the origins of life in relation to evolution. He's calling it evolution, not abiogenesis. I know this is something else they get hung up on, these idiosyncrasies. This guy has more credentials in his pinky finger than R.N. Raw, 66Rabidmonkey, and 1,000 of these lame-ass internet atheists have put together. So, anyway, let me just go back to the reasons here that he's using, the reasoning. So, like I said in my video, you know, how we met was because he was doing First Amendment audits and filming in Pocatello, Idaho. He got arrested for it. He went to court. He took a plea deal. He backed down. And since then, it's been, I don't know, 6 months. Nobody's done a First Amendment audit in Pocatello before. Or since. Before is not the problem. Since he took that plea deal, to my knowledge, nobody has done any of these First Amendment audits in that area. Because they're scared. I mean, this guy got a misdemeanor and a fine for doing something completely legal. And instead of fighting it in court, he took a plea deal. So I said, how is this filming coming? Not doing First Amendment audits anymore? Sounds like it's a pretty scary situation all of a sudden. Like before, people were doing First Amendment audits all of the time, and now not so much. And I show, these are the protests I did, where I filmed government buildings, and I even taunted police to view my signs that explicitly signaled an end to prohibition. I never got busted for exercising my First Amendment, and if I ever did, I would have fought it in court tooth and nail. And so these are me filming in front of the Idaho Falls Drug Court, in front of the post offices, Pocatello, Idaho Falls, over and over again. I said, my prediction is that no one will ever do a First Amendment audit again there until I get back to town to fix this, which, quite honestly, won't be for a while. I got other things I got to do. I thought these comments were funny. I said, this new, or they say, let's see, Anna Velasquez, this new wave of atheists are like a lot like door knockers. Sorry, but no Girl Scout cookies for me. Take your wares elsewhere. This guy says, this rabid monkey fellow seems bored. It makes me wonder if he has a job, or does he just harass people full time? This guy, it is truly amazing how people can spend so much of their time commenting on other people's videos with the same redundant argument and yet fail to use their time for something more useful. Is this monkey just throwing poo? I like that. Anyway, so no, I don't tell people that I expect them to do something that I myself aren't willing to do. Like this rabid monkey fellow, he doesn't make any videos on science, on evolution. He doesn't profess his knowledge or his, world-changing views on anything, except for on my videos, where all he does is basically criticize me. No different than Aaron Ra, no different than this Brandon Wade Cartman guy that I made a video about that started all of this. They don't go out and they don't do the science themselves, first of all. So, them claiming that science is the answer, why aren't they out there doing the science themselves? Why aren't they employed in a lab doing tests and running experiments? Because they're not that interested in that. They just want to fight. If they were out changing the world, it would probably be better served doing the science and proving these things themselves, which is what I challenged him to do in my comment here. Or I said, it's time for you to prove your extraordinary claims to Dr. James Tour, because he has literally invited anybody who believes in evolution to come and explain it to him, because he's the guy to explain it to. He's the scientist doing these experiments, making molecules from scratch, from ab initio, doing these things that are very difficult in a lab that none of these internet atheists are doing. None of them know any of this stuff. They claim to know it, but if they did know it, they'd be doing it. They'd be making big money doing it and helping the world and changing things for the better. But they're not doing any of that. They're just here to talk shite. So until they can actually do something that's positive, that actually changes the world, their little arguments and their little door-to-door atheist, pushing stuff, their Mormon missionary type of stuff, isn't going to change anything. It's just going to piss people off and inoculate people who they may be able to change their mind against their cause. Coming to my videos and insulting me, it doesn't make me change my mind on anything. It just makes me a little more interested in figuring out what they're up to and why they're being so rude, rather than, getting into this topic more deeply or figuring things out a little more carefully. It just causes more hurt feelings or arguments, and it doesn't help anything. So them going around doing this door-to-door belief pushing stuff, it's not helping. So get a real clue. Peace.